So I want to thank everyone for coming here to Honolulu today. I think more than any time as my time as mayor, you know, it is the people's house, but it really is the people's house this afternoon on Aloha Friday during the pandemic, where we've come together to talk about something that I think is near and dear to everyone in Waimānalo. It's something that you all deeply care about as leaders, kūpuna, and the next generation, and that is the issue of Sherwood Forest and the field that was going to be built there. Put a lot of time and energy discussing with the four of you here in separate groups, but today we're together as one, the leaders of the two groups, to talk about what we're going to do on this field. And, you know, I struggled as the mayor, someone not from Waimānalo, on what to do and what was the appropriate thing. This project was brought to my attention and asked for my support. And a large part of it had to do with the two aunties sitting here who put over a decade into a dream. And I honored the request of going forward. But it quickly became apparent that there were those that did not want to see the field that was proposed. People who equally cared about this community, loved it as much as the aunties did. And there were protests, there were arrests, and I want to apologize to the community for the hurt, and I'm sorry for that hurt, and I want to make sure that there's healing as a result. And today's announcement is about that healing. You know, I've made the decision that we're no longer going to build this field, that this administration is POW proceeding with the field, and I personally POW with proceeding with this field. But I'm not POW with trying to figure out how do we bring a community together to heal. And so we're announcing today that we're going to do things to help the land return to its previous state. We'll be removing debris that we placed there and leveling out some mounds of stuff that went with the debris. And then we're going to do some kind of planting of grass. We're going to see if we can't plant aki at the request of Kuika and Kalani. And you've agreed that this would be a good thing to do.
Yes.
And then let the land heal. And then look to you folks, Puna and the next generation, as to what happens here. I don't think it's the end. It's a place where people come together now and say, how do we do it differently? How do we communicate differently for me? How does the city do a better job? Respecting the views and also in building on the dream that you have as a community, and how do we do that properly? So I did want Haku, who's here, who is our Deputy Director of Design Construction, to talk a little bit more about what it is we're going to do so the community understands. And then I'd like to have each of you say a few words, if you don't mind. So Haku.
Thank you, Mayor. So as Mayor mentioned, we are no longer moving forward with the field and the parking lot area. Unfortunately, we will have heavy machinery out there working. The focus, again, being on, as Mayor mentioned, removing the debris. There is large debris from the clearing of the site, and so that will be shaken out in order to minimize the amount of sand that we remove from the site. We'll be planting grass and ideally aki and installing a temporary irrigation system. And so that is absolutely necessary to establish ground cover and for us to close out the permits as quickly as possible.
And I was one of those that planned it and worked really hard to get the monies in there. And so took 10 years to pass through every department. And then actually to come out to the community for 2 years was on the agenda, you know, and then after that, just protest. But I realized that my community needs to step it up too. I need to know that our community will be able to come to the table and with the correct information. Because a lot of times what I saw was there was a lot of miscommunication, and it just added more coal to the fire. It hurt that we lost those kind of funds for our community. Because I think it's an educational process that's happening in Waimānalo, that those that have chosen to come forward represent the younger generation, that I'm happy that we are able to come back to the table. It's going to take a lot of work.
I'm so happy that we can do something about Sherwood Forest. Sherwood Forest, a long time ago, it was our playground with all our families. All the families used to go there. We used to go camping. We used to go fishing. That was our get-together all the time on the weekends. And so seeing the things that we were planning to have 10 years ago is no longer there because of our children so big. So today is your job, you two right there, to continue on doing what you guys want for Sherwood Forest. And keep that good, togetherness. We all need to work together. No grumbling, no protesting no more. Put it on the table. Let's decide what we want to do. Bring the kūpunas in. Give their advice. Don't go out, go wild. Don't go grumbling. Let's be together because that's what we are brought up together. We always work together, decide what we're going to have in Waimānalo and what we're going to, this is for the children. This is for all you folks, we're not going to be here forever. So we want that to be, our Waimānalo, be as happy, proud, and loving and caring. That's all I ask for your two generation. Be there for them and always be the strong person. Be a strong ikaika. Yeah? Mahalo.
Yeah. So, malo nui Mayor for allowing us to come over here and talk story and to finally conclude this portion of all of our journeys together because eventually you will move on. We also like to mahalo the two aunties over here for being the forerunners and having a vision of trying to do whatever they needed in order to make sure that our kiki was provided for. He is right. So your guys' kiki is our age now. So they're not playing sports anymore. And now it's actually is mo'opuna. So from kūpuna to mo'opuna, this is being handed down. And for us Makua, we gladly accept the responsibility to utilize lokahi. We utilize all of our political venues, all of the petitions, over 36,000. We did as best we could, attended the meetings, provided testimony, and testified. We may have been late to the party, you're right. But if we don't utilize that spirit, that driving force, that you folks have that driving force, you guys showed us that. If we don't utilize that today, then all would be for naught. That means we would have learned nothing. And that is why I believe we are here today, is to make amends and to work together as one community, Kūpuna, Makua, and Opio. The Kauhale, the Ahupua of Waimānalo, and the community working together to get our community forward.
Aloha mai kākou, ku ike kamakeo helo, ka peliki kena no sa o sa, no Waimānalo no. He leo kākou ke ia I kā mea, I o lelo ai, I pūkana ai, I puana ai, I ka ho'okū ana, I ke kukulu ana o kia paka paani popo. Yeah, so kia manawa, o ke aloha ka wale mea I koe. Mahalo ho'i I nā po'e apau I kā ko'o, nā kia I nā kūpuna. Mahalo ho'i I ke akua. Yeah. So, again, kako ku ike kamakeo helo, the president of SOS, here in support of the mayor's announcement to restore the parcel that we famously know as Phase 1. in Waimānalo Bay Beach Park master plan. So, he leo kāko'o, this is a voice of support in the announcement. Mahalo ho'i to the mayor and his cabinet managing director and everybody for having the patience. Mahalo ho'i. Thank you to the kia'i and the kūpuna who have come out. A'ike aloha aina hope aloha. Iolana iwi o hunana niho pai o mau. Oh, and I would like to reach out and a great gratitude to first the Chief of Police, Ballard, and then to the boots on the ground, Chris Kiabu, Sergeant Chris Kiabu and his team. Without them, we wouldn't be here today. And during this pandemic, I would also like to hawi aloha, give aloha to all the first responders out there.
You know, as I mentioned, we were talking story, and we did listen to the community in terms of what else they wanted, and a community that deserves much more. And so I'm going to be announcing next week the budget that was passed by the council, and that budget is $1.2 million for various projects, but one of them is to help with Azevedo Field, which is something you want, a field that doesn't have cracks. You're not going to go break your ankle or disappear in doing it, and getting a field that your keiki can play on safely. And that's because we listened and you heard from all of you at that request. So I wanted to let you know that. And we need to do even more. And we'll be looking for that input on how to do more. So in conclusion, I'm hoping this place, when we're finished, we remove the debris, we put in the grass, it gets quiet.
It will.
And the stories are told, though. Your stories, and now your stories. You know, I'm not going to be mayor much longer, but it is incumbent on all of you, both the next generation, Kalani Kuike, but listening to kūpuna and other voices that are no longer present, but they speak, and I know you hear them. And Waimānalo thrives. You've given it a lot of voice, and I think it's just the beginning of even a stronger voice. So I just want to thank you for that, and thank you for coming all the way over to this side, to Honolulu. And I look forward to working with you during my term to make sure we do this correctly every step of the way. Okay? Thank you so much. Yeah. Mahalo. Mahalo.